So let's start again. Welcome to the course of Applications, Development, and Emerging Technologies, or IT 331. So today, we will be discussing our first topic, or the introduction for IT 331. So for our objectives for this topic, for this session, at the end of this session, the student should be able to explain what is application development. The student should be able to describe the difference between mobile and web application development. The student should be able to understand approaches in application development. The student should be able to explain what is emerging technology, and the student should be able to understand the different emerging technologies and advantages of emerging technology. So first, application development. Based on your current knowledge, what is application development? Anyone? Current knowledge for application development or from the word itself. Yes, Mr. Christian.
Sir, ano po? Creation of applications using computer languages.
All right, creation of applications using or programming languages. By the way, for the recitation, it will be also part of your final grade. So if you have a class participation, of course, you will get a grade or a score for recitation. Then if not, for the whole semester, zero base siya. Kung wala kang na-input for our synchronous class, then zero. Okay? Any other opinion or answer? Application development. Thank you, Mr. Christian. Application development. Yes, Mr. Perez.
Sir, application development po, it is where a programmer develop an application that helps its client in
Mhm.
terms of it business um, or other types of works po that will help the user to be more easier po.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Renz. So application development, developing an application by the programmers for their clients to support their business processes or transaction or business requirement ni client. Programmer gagawa ng application, mag-develop ng application based on the client requirement. So that is the idea of Mr. Perez. Any other uh, opinion or answer? Yes, Mr. Raymond Guevara.
Sir, ano po? Designing and implementing software applications.
All right, designing and implementing software application.
Applications.
Okay, thank you. Meron pa ba answer, opinion? Okay. So, so application development is the process of creating a computer program or a set of programs to perform the different tasks that a business requires. So remember, when you are creating a program and that program will solve the different tasks or the different business processes of a company or or your client, that is the application program. For any program that will help the businesses. So yun yung application program. Again, a process of creating a computer program that is application development. Application development goes to the process of planning, creating, testing, and deploying an information system, or also known as the software development lifecycle or the SDLC. So I know you are already aware or familiar with the SDLC. So when we are on the stage of developing an application, and may mga processes tayo na sinusunod. And ang tawag sa mga processes na yun ay software development life cycle. So dito natin pinaplano yung magiging expected output from our client. So hindi po pala kami basta gumagawa or gagawa ng application. Dumadaan pala siya sa iba't ibang processes. And that is correct. Hindi ka basta-basta gagawa ng isang computer program, ng isang application, ng isang software. Basta-basta. You should follow or you should consider the different approaches or the software development life cycle. So that is the application development. So these are the basic stage of the SDLC. So we have requirement analysis, design, development, testing, and maintenance. So familiar na with this kasi very useful or nagamit siya on your capstone, on your documentation, most especially on your chapter 3. So meron na kayong knowledge when we say requirement analysis or on this stage, anong meron dito? Requirement analysis. So the stage 1. Anong meron? Yes, Mr. Magnaye.
Ano lang po, sa requirement analysis po ay gathering of information pa lang po yung pakikipag-usap sa clients, what requirements ang kailangan para sa development, tapos what are their yung mga request po nila, what will be the structure and design pa pala yun, design pa pala yun.
Okay.
Yun lang po.
Alright, so that's correct. For the stage 1 or the requirement analysis, on this stage, ang ginagawa natin dito is we are conducting an investigations, an interview, or an interrogations to our clients. Ano ba yung requirement nila? Ano ba yung kailangan nila? Ano ba yung kailangan nilang gawin natin? Ano ba yung expected output nila? So, bakit po natin yung ginagawa? Bakit natin kailangan mag-interview to our client? Of course, because we need to ask them, yun nga, ano ba yung business processes nila or transactions na gusto nilang paggawaan ng software? Ano ba yung mga problems na na-encounter nila for us to give or to provide a solution and to minimize or diminish that current problem of the company that are experiencing. Hindi ka naman makakapag-provide ng solution if hindi mo alam yung existing or current problem. So, parang yun yung naging target natin or nyo on your capstone proposal. So, if meron na existing system, ano ba yung current problem ng existing system na yon? So, you as the researchers or proponents, you will need to innovate that existing system. You will you need to minimize or diminish or eliminate the current problem with that existing system. Also, to be appropriate yung mga ginagawa or gagawin nating software processes, we really need to observe or conduct interview. Kasi yun nga, wala tayong idea or knowledge kung ano ba yung gagawin natin. If i-skip natin or hindi natin gagawin sa stage 1 or sa requirement analysis. So that is for requirement analysis, conducting an interview to the client. Next, for the design. Ano kayang meron sa design? Anyone? Yes, Mr. Magnaye?
Sir, dito po ay dinedevelop na yung structure ng magiging system, yung model niya, tapos yung components para mabuo yung isang system. Yung, for example po, yung component ng login, component na header, yung ganun po.
All right, that is also correct. So, for the stage or the design, so dito natin ginagawa yung structure or yung infrastructure ng application. So, alam na natin yung requirement ng ating client. Alam na natin yung processes ng business or yung transactions na gusto nilang ipagawa. So, since alam na natin, we will now be designing what will be the structure or the infrastructure of the application based on the expected output or expected application ng ating client. So, that is for the design stage. Next, the development stage. Ano kayang meron dito? Yes, Mr. Guevara? Did you raise your hand?
Yes, sir. Sir, dito naman po sa development, ito naman po yung start na po ng build ng ating entire system kung saan po maghahanap po tayo finding and fixing the errors kung saan po yung line na may mali or wala.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Guevara. So, tapos nakuha na natin yung requirement from client. Alam na natin yung structure or infrastructure ng application. So, after we design, we'll now be developing the system or the application. Anong meron sa development? Ito na yung pagko-code or coding ng system or application. Next, for testing. Mr. Renz?
Ano po, sa testing po, dito po yung ano po sir, yung trial and error, finding bugs po about dun sa system kung paano po mai-improve. Tapos, dito din po yung, tawag dito, yung sa, dyan nga po sa trials and errors, kung kunwari po ay may mga bugs, pagpalagay po sa login, ganun. Kung hindi
Alright.
po yung credentials ni users, mga ganun po.
Thank you. So, that's correct for debugging of the errors or bugs for the developed applications. So, after natin ma-develop, we will now be testing the developed system or the applications. Tama ba yung nagiging output ni application? Sabi nga ni Mr. Renz, for the login, kunwari, for the credentials. Nag-input ako ng aking credentials, username and password. Tama naman, kapag kinilik ko ba yung login, tama ba yung ipoprovide niyang output? Magre-redirect ba ako sa homepage ng application? So, we will see or we will test if tama ba yung nagiging output ni application for every input. So, bakit natin or bakit kailangan nating i-test ang application? Because we want to know if there's still a problem with our developed application or developed software. Kasi hindi naman sa lahat ng oras or lahat ng pagkakataon or wala akong nabalitaan na isang gawa lang system perfect na siya. So, maraming chances or normal lang na as you develop the system, meron pa din yung bugs and errors. Even the Microsoft, big company, nagkakaroon pa din ng bugs and errors with their applications. So, sometimes, may mga bugs pa, errors, yung developed system natin or applications. So, that's why we're going to test, again, to know if there's still an error or bug sa ginawa nating applications. Mr. Guevara? Napindot ba or...
Po, sir?
So, yes po.
Wala po, sir. Nabindot lang.
Sige. So next, for after testing, the maintenance. So ano bang meron kay maintenance? Anyone, open your mic. Hindi ko alam kung sinong nauna. Mr. Renz?
Sa maintenance po sir, naka-deployed na po yung system. Tapos if i-test po nila after a weeks or so kung may mga bugs pa po dun sa system. Para pong ano pa po siya, parang beta release.
Oh,
Para po ma-maintain po nung programmer kung kunwari po maraming user po yung nag-access dun sa deployed na website, kung babagal po ba or kung ano pong mangyayari. Ganun po.
all right, exactly. That is correct. Thank you, Mr. Renz. So, behind the testing and maintenance, nandun na yung deployment ng developed system. So, after we test, of course, we will deploy the application or the software to our client. On your capstone, after deploying your system to your client, you should have an agreement. Baka makalimutan nyo. After kasi nung sinasabing beta testing, so doon malalaman kung meron pa bang errors. So kapag goods na doon, then talagang i-release na si application sa inyong client. Magkakaroon dapat kayo ng agreement. Sino ba talaga yung magiging responsible for the maintaining of the application or system? Kasi kung wala kayong agreement, it means kayong proponents or kayong developers, kayong gumawa ng system, kayo yung magme-maintain ng application for the entire life. I mean, kasi hindi kayo nagkaroon ng agreement na sila na yung mag-maintain. Kahit meron na kayong work or nasa ibang bansa na kayo or what, since wala kayong agreement sa inyong client, kayo pa din yung mag-maintain ng application sa your client. So, magkakaroon kayo ng agreement. Ay, after po namin ma-release itong application, wala na po kami dyan. You can ask your IT department or kung sino man to be responsible for the maintaining of the system. Kasi hindi naman after mong mag-beta testing or anumang testing, for the whole life yun na yun. Kasi merong still as the time goes by, magkakaroon niya ng errors or magkakaroon niya ng bugs. So, tandaan nyo yun, have an agreement after you deploy or release your application to your client. So, that is the basic stage of the software development lifecycle. Next. So we have different approaches or methodology in creating an application or the application development approaches. So we have Waterfall, Agile, Scrum, FFD, Extreme Programming, and Lean. So again, hindi tayo basta-basta gumagawa or gagawa ng application. We have different approaches, methodologies that are needed to follow before we proceed in the developing of the applications. So, explain natin kung itong are the most commonly used methodologies on the following slides. So, bakit kailangan sundin yung different processes or steps in a particular methodology? For example, in programming languages, may mga approaches din dyan. May mga step, may mga processes. So, hindi tayo basta-basta gumagawa ng isang program. Meron tayong approach na ginagawa or sinusunod or yung tinatawag nating paradigm. So, that is the example of the different application development methodologies or approaches. So, we'll discuss the most commonly used methodology or approach. So, first, the waterfall. So the keywords for the waterfall method of application development are planning and sequence. The entire project is mapped out in the planning and analysis stage. The customer comes with a very explicit list of features and functionalities for the application. So on the waterfall approach or model or methodology, ang nangyayari dito, ang nangyayari dito ay in sequence yung pagpaplano. Kumbaga, chronological order siya. Hindi natin pwedeng lampasan yung isang stage hanggat di pa siya tapos. So, dito, the interaction between the customer or the client and the developers or the team, doon lang sa first stage or the requirement analysis. Example, kunwari ito yung parang ganito yung style or model ni Waterfall. So, kay Waterfall, after you get, again, chronological order siya, yung steps, yung processes. After you get the requirement from your client, then nasa design ka na, then si client ay may pinabago, may pinadagdag. After, hindi ka instantly na gagawin mo yung changes on this stage, on this design stage. Babalik ka ulit sa requirement analysis. Then after mo kay requirement analysis, ilalagay mo dito yung changes, yung pinadagdag ng client, balik ka ulit sa design. So, again, chronological order. Kailangan tapos na yung isang step bago gawin yung succeeding step. So, mahirap gawin or gamitin si Waterfall kapag merong magiging changes sa development ng system. Another example, nasa testing ka na. Meron pang pinagdagdag ulit or pinatanggal si client. Ngayon, babalik ka ulit sa requirement. Then babalik ka ulit sa design, development, and testing. So, maganda lang si Waterfall kapag fix na yung usapan niyo with your client. Yung wala na siyang magiging changes. Doon lang magiging useful or magandang gamitin si Waterfall. Waterfall works best as an application development method when to use Waterfall model. So first, you don't anticipate many changes or any changes. Kasi nga, everything was planned chronologically. Di na pwedeng magkaroon ng changes. Kasi if meron pang changes sa isang phase or sa isang stage, babalik ka ulit again sa una or sa prior stage. Then pag may pinadagdag or pinabago pa si client, uulit ka ng uulit or babalik ka ulit sa requirement analysis or on the prior stage. So mahirap kapag may changes, then Waterfall yung gagamitin mong methodology. So good si Waterfall if walang mangyayaring changes for the whole development of the system. Next, when to use Waterfall if the budget are fixed for the project. Bakit budget it is fixed? It means wala nang mangyayari na changes kasi fixed na yung budget. Kumbaga, kinontrata na. Kumbaga sa construction, pinakyaw na yung trabaho. Kung anong sabihin ni client from the very first stage, from the very beginning or on the stage 1, kung anong sabihin ni client na gagawin based on the budget, yun lang yun. Hindi na siya pwedeng magdagdag, hindi na siya pwedeng magpatanggal or magpabago. So good si Waterfall if the budget are fixed. Kasi nga wala nang mangyayaring changes doon. Next, when to use Waterfall if you have done a similar project before. So kapag meron ka lang nagawa almost or same project, you can use Waterfall. Bakit? Kasi alam mo na yung transaction or alam mo na yung processes, alam mo na yung codes, madali mo nang magagawa kasi meron ka ng prior knowledge sa pag-develop ng same application or same system. Lalo na sa codes, gaganin mo na lang yung mga codes. So, goods din si Waterfall kapag meron ka nang nagawang same project or application. When to use Waterfall if the customer is very clear and doesn't plan to involve much until the end. So, example, si customer doesn't want to involve in the different stages of the development of the application except on the requirement analysis. Kumbaga example, si client, of course, kailangan natin makuha yung data or mag-interview tayo sa kanya. Then si client, wala na siyang planong ma-involve on this succeeding stage. So, magandang gamitin si Waterfall. Kasi, Wala siyang pakialam doon sa succeeding stage. Wala na magiging changes doon. Kung anong sabihin, kung anong sabihin ni client on the requirement analysis, yun na yun, wala nang mangyayaring changes. So yun, waterfall, good siya kapag yung development ng application or project is walang mangyayaring changes. So, yun yung tawag dito, naging problema kay waterfall. Ano yung problema? Yung changes. Lalo na ngayon, parang every minute, every hour, if you work on a company or if you have a client, merong nangyayaring changes or merong changes na kailangan or pwedeng mangyari. So ngayon, hindi kaya ni Waterfall yung ganong technology. Hindi kaya ni Waterfall mag-adapt sa changes. So that's why ngayon dito natin ipapasok si Agile methodology. So karamihan sa inyo ay Agile ang ginamit on the as your methodology for your capstone project. So explain natin kung ano ba si Agile. May question pala? Meron kayong question?
Wala po, sir.
Okay, gets ba, gets?
Yes po, sir.
Sige, sabihin nyo lang kapag malabo yung explanation ko. So, Agile, may waterfall kasi, nakaplano na siya. Ito na yung mangyayari sa isang team, then, isang team lang yung gagawa nun, nung project na yun. Unlike with the Agile, on this approach, the Agile can modify or accommodate changes. So it means if there will be a changes, madali lang and mas mabilis gawin kay Agile. So bakit nga ba? Bakit kaya mag-adapt ni Agile sa different changes? So unlike Waterfall, Agile is well equipped to handle the complexity and variability involved in the development projects. Using Agile approach, teams develop in short sprints or iterations, each of which includes a defined duration and list of deliverables but in no particular order. So during sprints, team works towards the goal of delivering working software or some other tangible or testable output. So on the Agile development or the development of the application is not chronological order, unlike with the waterfall. So dito, on the Agile, ginagawa dyan, in different processes, different transactions, hinahati-hati siya. Or yung tinatawag nating sprints. Or sometimes, ano bang tawag doon? Microsystems. What I mean is, for example, we have a client. Then, pinagawa niya tayo ng ERP for their company. So, again, na-discuss natin yung ERP last semester. Meron siyang iba't ibang parts or several parts or different modules. So, merong sa ERP na HR, merong accounting. So, several parts and those processes or modules, pwede siya gawin separately. Meaning, kapag merong changes, madali lang siya kasi hindi naman siya ginawa as a whole. Kasi hiwa-hiwalay niyang nagawa or ginagawa ang iba't ibang modules. So hindi nakadepende ang isang transactions sa isa pang transactions. Meaning kapag may gusto kang baguhin sa HR module, okay lang kasi hindi maapektuhan yung ibang modules. Again, kasi hindi siya chronological order ginagawa. Or in short, ERP, merong iba't ibang modules. On Waterfall, isa lang team dyan. On Agile, maraming transactions ang kailangan ni client. Sa HR module, merong isang team. Sa accounting module, merong isang team. So, hinahati-hati yung transactions, yung processes, yung sprints. Isang team kapag merong sinabi si client, gusto ko ganito or may changes sa HR module, hindi maapektuhan si accounting kasi hindi siya ginawa as a whole. Kumbaga yung changes, kayang mag-adapt kay Agile. Kayang i-adapt ni Agile. Hindi na kailangan bumalik pa from the prior or from the start of or from the first stages or stage. So, yun yung kagandahan ni Agile. It can adapt to or accommodate to changes. Another example, again, waterfall, isang team lang. For example, on the big project siya from the client, you have a 5 team leaders or 5 teams. So, kanya-kanya silang processes or transactions na nagagawin separately. Then, kapag again may problema per team leaders, per team, per modules, per transactions, sila na yung bahala doon. Hindi maapektuhan yung other modules or transactions. Then, kapag okay na or tapos na, wala nang changes, sa kanila pagsasama-samahin yung iba't ibang processes, yung iba't ibang transactions. So, yung concept, mabilis lang, madali lang baguhin if may changes. Kasi nga, hindi siya ginawa as a whole. So, that is yun yung kagandahan ni Agile methodology. Gets ba? Gets kaya yung pinagkaiba ni Waterfall and Agile?
Yes po.
Sige po. If merong questions, chat nyo lang or clarifications or malabo at gagawin nating malinaw. So ito yung Agile. Kalimitan din or halos lahat ng docu, ganito yung itsura ng kanilang model or methodology. So we have requirement, design, development, testing, deployment, and review. So again, separately, ginawa yung transactions or processes or modules. After, kunwari, HR module nasa design na or development na, then may pinabago si client on the design, balik lang siya dito sa design. And proceed ulit sa development, hindi na siya babalik on the requirement. Kung meron changes sa different module, hindi lahat ng module babalik on the design. HR module lang kasi yun lang yung may changes. So yun yung Agile methodology. So Agile is a great application development methodology when the project is large enough to break down into several sprints. So kailan maganda gamitin si Agile? If maliit yung scope ng i-develop mong system and wala namang kailangan or walang hati-hatiin or by sprint na mangyayari. So wrong choice if Agile ang gagamitin mong methodology. Example, 2 transactions lang yung kailangan ni client or kailangan gawin sa system. So it means hindi applicable si Agile. Applicable lang si Agile if and only if malaki yung scope ng system or ng project. Next, if you have a lot of specialists or teams who can work on a team together. So kapag maraming specialists, maraming teams, maraming team leaders, then again, Agile is a good approach. Next, the bulk of the project is known ahead of time and can be planned out. So kailangan maaga ma-plan ng project if you will use Agile methodology. You should have a good project managers in place. Then dapat you will have a good project leaders or managers. Kasi imagine if you have a big project, kailangang hati-hatiin siya, gawin siyang by sprint, hati-hatiin siya into several sprints or transactions. Dapat magaling yung project managers mo or project leader mo. Kasi kung hindi, wala kayong mapoprovide na output or hindi magma-match yung ina-expect na output ni client sa mapoprovide yung output. So, ito yung ways kung kailan dapat gamitin si Agile methodology. Gets? Yes po. So now, we'll proceed to mobile application development. So same question. What is mobile application development based on your current knowledge? Yes, Mr. Perez.
Mobile application, it is intended to use only on a mobile devices po. Like, ano po, kunwari po sa GCash, yung mga ganun.
All right.
Ah,
So yes.
yun po. Yun lang po.
Sige. That's correct. Development of an application intended for, of course, mobile, such as for Android or iOS. Any other opinion or answer? Mr. Guevara? Meron pa bang opinion answer? Teko. So, ano ba si mobile application development? So, mobile application development is the process of is the process to make in making software for smartphones and digital assistants, most commonly for Android and iOS. So, kapag gumagawa ka ng mga software or applications na ilo-launch mo gamit ang smartphones or ilalagay mo sa smartphones or device, then yun yung ginagawa mong yun yung application or um, mobile app. Then yung paggawa mo ng mobile app, ang tawag doon ay mobile application development. So yung process ng paggawa, again, yung process ng paggawa ng mobile app, ang tawag ay mobile application development. So the software can be pre-installed on the device, downloaded from mobile app store or accessed through a mobile or a web browser. Ano ba yung pre-installed application? Anyone? When we say pre-installed, pre-installed applications. 'Di ba, kapag bumili ka ng smart. Yes, Mr. Rapas? Did you raise your hand?
Yes po, sir. Ito po yung mga ano na po, naka-install na talaga sa phone, like yung calculator, calendar, yung clock, ganun po, sir.
So that's correct. So that is the pre-installed application. So pagkabili mo ng device, pagkabili mo ng cellphone, pag open mo, yun na yung ito yung mga app or applications na naka-install na sa iyong device or sa iyong smartphones. Downloaded from mobile app store. Man yun. Simply an application that you can download on the Play Store or the App Store. Mobile web browser. Ano naman yung mobile web browser? Mobile web browser. Yes, Mr. Magnaye?
Application po, sir, to access sa internet. Yung para intended po siya for mobile devices katulad po ng Chromes or yung pre-installed na browser talaga ng cellphone sa mga Android katulad o kaya Safari sa iPhone.
Alright. So, exactly, that is correct. So, mobile web browser, pwede natin siya ma-access through mobile web browser. Ano ba yun? So, ito nga sabi ni Mr. Magnaya, ito yung mga naka-install na browser on our mobile, such as Google Chrome and Safari. So, that is the difference between pre-installed, downloaded, and mobile web browser. So, we have three types of mobile application, such as the native apps, mobile web apps, and hybrid web apps. So let's discuss these three types of mobile applications. So first, native apps. Native apps are software application built in a specific programming language for the specific device platform, either iOS or Android. iOS apps, for example, are written in Objective-C, Swift, Android apps in Java or Kotlin. So native apps live on a device that are accessed through icons on the device home screen. So the term native app is used to mean any application written to word on a specific device platform. So based on the definition, meron ba kayong nakuhang insights kung ano yung example ng native applications or native apps? Yes, Mr. Magnaye?
Yung sa iPhone, sa Apple po, Safari. Doon lang.
Alright. That's correct. Kumbaga, different device ginawa si application for that specific device. Di ba kung mapapansin nyo, merong application na meron kay iOS na wala kay Android, meron kay Android na wala kay iOS. Tama? Katulad ng Safari, kay Android, Google Chrome. If tama, hindi ako familiar. So, kay Android, parang specific dinevelop si Google Chrome for specific device, for Android. Dinevelop si Safari for a specific device for iOS. So, native app means that the application will only work for a specific device. So, yun nga, example, for iOS, kapag gumawa ka ng program or application using Objective-C and Swift, and that application will only work for the iOS. If gumawa ka ng application using Java or Kotlin, that application will only work for Android. So, lahat ng mobile applications na ginagawa natin for a specific device at hindi niya kayang mag-run sa ibang device, that is native apps. Gets?
Hindi.
Or example pa. Gets ba?
Okay na po, sir.
Sige po. Ano pa ba yung application na nagra-run kay iOS na hindi nagra-run kay Android or vice versa? I think yung sa mga mobile games na APK, kumbaga yung may mga cheat na kunwari hindi naubusan ng pera or ng life, nagwo-work siya or pwede siyang ma-download kay Android. On the iOS side, hindi siya pwedeng, or I think sa pagkakaalam ko, hindi pwedeng mag-download ng APK applications sa iOS. Yes, Mr. Renz, nag-raise ka ng hand.
Napindot lang po, sir.
Sige. So that is the native apps. So native apps are developed specifically for one platform. Yun nga, sabi ko kanina. And can take full advantage of all the device features. They can use the camera, the GPS, accelerometer, compass, and the list of contacts and so on. So another example of native apps, an application that can use or can take full advantage of the device features. An application na pwedeng gamitin yung ibang features ng iyong device, such as the camera. So, for example, an application that works on Android, and that application or that specific application can also use the different features of the device itself. And that is also a native apps. Ano ba yung mga example ng application na gumagamit ng camera, GPS, and etc. Sa tingin nyo, or ano yung experience nyong application na gumagamit ng features ng inyong mobile phones? Snapchat. Yes? Diba Snapchat, nagamit niya yung camera, TikTok, GPS ay Waze. Any other applications na nagamit nyo that use the features of your smartphones or device. Yes, Mr. Perez?
Ano po sir, yung Strava.
Yung Strava, ano pong meron kay Strava?
Ina-access niya po yung GPS pag po nagbabike po para
Alright.
malaman kung gaano kalayo yung pupuntahan.
Okay, so that is also correct kasi that application use other features of the device such as the GPS. Examples of native apps yun nga for the navigation programs yung Strava daw and Waze, for games Pokemon Go. Bakit kaya Pokemon Go? Ano bang meron dun sa uh, larong yun? 'Di ba parang ginagamit mo din yung camera mo doon, 'di ba? So that is an example of native apps. So again, native apps will only work for a specific device or platform. Next, mobile web apps. They are not real applications. They are really websites that in many ways look and feel like native applications, but are not implements as such. They are run by a browser and typically written or used in HTML. Users first access them as they would access any page. They navigate to a special URL and then have an option of installing on their mobile or on their home screen by creating a bookmark to that page. So, based on this definition, baka meron kayong niisip na example of a mobile web apps. Mr. Perez?
Yung ano po sir, yung 9anime.to. Ano po siya, anime site. Tapos pag po in-scroll nyo siya, then mag-a-ask po siya ng permission if you want to add home screen po.
Alright, so that's correct. Thank you, Mr. Magnaye.
Sir, di ba po pag mobile web apps ay websites lang
Oo.
na
So, yes.
wala din siyang icons, di parang mga blogs lang po or yung static dynamic websites lang na
That's
nag-a-adjust
correct.
sa cellphone.
Kumbaga, wala siyang icons, but correct, the mobile web apps are written or created as a website or a web base. But again, on that particular website, you can add that on your home screen as a bookmark, not literally an icon. Kumbaga, parang drag mo lang the bookmark on your home screen. Kunwari, Google. Hindi pala Google. Kunwari ay ano bang application?
Sir, ay di parang accessible siya sa web browser, ganun lang.
Oo. So yun. Kumbaga, example, yung student portal, meron ba siyang mobile app? Yung inyong student portal? Or wala? But state yung student portal. Meron ba siyang application?
Wala po.
Mobile app. So wala.
Wala po.
So wala siyang or hindi mo siya pwedeng i-download through Play Store or App Store, tama? Yung student portal.
Yes po.
So wala. So but still you can still access that website or you can still access it on your mobile phones through a mobile web. Si student portal, dinevelop siya written in HTML, PHP, and etc. But still, you can access it through your mobile web such as Safari, Google, Chrome. So, with this, we have a website, ang tawag natin doon, we have a website that is responsive or high level yung pagkaka-program or pagkaka-design sa kanya. Kumbaga, the application was a website or was developed as a website or a web-based, but it is a responsive website. Or if you access the website through your phone, yung design di nasisira, di naiibo, di nababago, and that is designated for mobile app, and that is called mobile web apps. Kumbaga, dinevelop mo sa student portal as a website. Still, you can access that on your mobile web browser. hindi mo siya dina-download tawag dito, on Play Store and App Store. Website siya, responsive lang siya, maganda yung pagkaka-program sa kanya, kaya still you can access that on a mobile web or mobile browser. So that is the mobile web apps. Parang yun ba yung pinapoint mo, Mr. Magnaye?
Yes po, yes po.
So yun yung mobile web apps. Hindi siya not literal icons nga. Ako kasi familiar with Android. Pero I think siguro you can with that, tama ba? Pwede ba sa Android na kunwari yung student portal, ano bang website yon? Then gagawan mo siya ng bookmark on your homepage. Then when you click that bookmark, automatically magde-direct siya on Google Chrome. Then yun yung magbubukas na site. Ganun ba? Tama ba yung bookmark? Parang I'm not sure with also with iOS. Web apps, ma-access mo siya through laptop, through a mobile, through your browser, but hindi mo siya mada-download on the Play Store or on the App Store. Example of mobile web apps. I'm not familiar with the other applications or web apps. AliExpress, Flipkart, Twitter Lite, OLX, Pinterest. So with this, it is really a mean or developed using HTML. But again, you can still access these applications or these mobile web apps through your mobile browser. So that is the example of mobile web apps. Question. Clear ba?
Sir,
Tapos,
Yes.
hindi ba kasama sa hybrid yung Pinterest? At saka Twitter Lite?
So we'll discuss later on the following slides kung ano ba yung pinagkaiba ni mobile web apps kay hybrid. Again, native apps, download mo siya on the Play Store, on the application, while the mobile apps, you can still access this on your mobile phones, but you cannot download on Play Store or App Store. Okay, discuss natin si hybrid. So hybrid, ano ba pag sinabing hybrid? Yes, Mr. Perez?
ano po sir, hybrid po, it is compatible on different platforms po. Like, kunwari po, yung Windows Phone, BlackBerry OS, iOS, and then Android.
Alright, that's correct. Or ano ba, hybrid, parang, yun, compatible sa lahat. Or with regards to these applications or types of mobile applications, hybrid, parang pinagsama or kumbaga pinagsamang native and mobile web. So hybrid apps are part of native apps and part of web apps. Because of that, many people incorrectly call them as web apps. Like native apps, they live parang parehas. Di pala. So like native apps, they live in App Store and can take advantage of the many device features available. So parang native apps. Like a web apps, they rely on HTML being rendered in a browser with the warning that a browser is embedded within within the app. Wait. So hybrid apps was developed using web application or web apps. So hybrid apps, dinevelop siya using HTML also. But it was embedded on a device or a Android platform to be looked as a native apps. But again, it was totally developed by a web app. So hybrid apps, dinevelop siya using a web apps, using HTML. Since hybrid siya, part of native and part of web apps, the development is web apps. The hybrid apps, you can also download this on Play Store or on App Store. So yun yung pinagkaiba ni web apps at hybrid apps. Twitter Lite ba nado-download din siya sa Play Store? I'm not sure kasi.
Opo.
Oh,
At saka po yung Pinterest.
Pinterest. Siguro oo nga. Kasi I just based these examples on mobile apps. I mean on the module. So I'm not familiar with Twitter Lite. So siguro oo nga ito ay isang hybrid kasi since or although it is developed using HTML or using a web base and the Pinterest, but still you can download this on Play Store or App Store. So tama si Mr. Magnaya, Twitter Lite and Pinterest. So yun yung hybrid apps. Develop siya through a web apps and you can still download it on a Play Store or App Store. Sir, parehas lang naman kay web apps si hybrid apps eh. Again, hindi. Si web apps, kasi hindi siya pwede i-install sa Play Store or App Store or hindi ka pwede mag-download from the App Store. You can drag lang or you can just create not an icon, just a bookmark. While on the hybrid apps, makikita mo siya on Play Store and pwede mo siyang i-install. Though it is created as a website or using HTML. Again, hybrid app, it is a part of native apps and web app. Native apps, you can download the hybrid apps on the Play Store, App Store. Web apps, kasi hybrid apps was developed using a web apps or as a website. So yun yung difference between native web apps, mobile web apps and hybrid apps. So, tama pala ito ay hybrid apps. Dito, with the examples of hybrid apps, I was also surprised that these applications are a hybrid apps. So, it means Twitter, Gmail, and Instagram was meant to was developed as a website or using HTML. Then it is also a part, again, this application also part of native applications kasi we can download these applications through the Play Store or App Store. Even this application was created again as a website. So I was surprised na not literal mobile app pala si Twitter, Gmail, Instagram na dinevelop. Okay, questions, clarifications? Akala natin native apps itong tatlo. Again, it was developed as a web apps. And ano ba nangyari? Bakit naging native app siya or looks to be native apps? Kasi from the development using HTML or as a website, that application was embedded on Android or iOS platform. Kumbaga, yes. Kumbaga,
So, napindot lang
yes.
po.
Kumbaga, nag-create ka ng website, then you use another application or software to embed that website into a mobile application or into a Android or iOS platform. So, ganun yung nangyayari kay hybrid apps. Question. Last. Same approach kanina. What is emerging technology based on your current knowledge?
So, yan po ba yung yung AI, ganun?
Okay, so let's see. Emerging technology. So, emerging technology, Wait lang. So emerging technology is a term generally used to describe a new technology, but it may also refer to the continuing development of an existing technology. Again, continuing development of an existing technology. Bagay merong innovations from that existing system, from that existing application. So that is emerging technology. For example, tama yung mga AI or IoT. For example, um, from the existing technology such as inventory management system, then you innovate that application into a new or continuing development into a new technology. You apply from inventory management system, you apply artificial intelligence, or you use a device, or you use the inventory management system as IoT. So yun yung emerging technology. Kumbaga from the existing technology, ano yung mga meron ng applications, ginagawa natin, nag-innovate tayo into a new technology. It can have slightly different meaning when used in different areas such as media, business, science, or education. But in our field, yun nga, si emerging technology is the new technology, such as yung AI, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, right? Machine learning, data science, data mining, and etc. So the term commonly refers to technologies that are currently developing or that are expected to be available within the next 5 or 10 years. That is, and is usually reserved for technologies that are creating or are expected to create significant social or economic effects. So emerging technology refers to the technology that will be available 5 to 10 years from now. So first example of emerging technologies or emerging technologies of 2020, first is the artificial intelligence or the AI. AI refers to programmed algorithms that automatically parse and apply. It's the largest force in emerging technology and includes security and sales applications for businesses. A wide-ranging branch of computer science concerned with building smart machines capable of performing tasks typically required human intelligence. So, ano kayang example ng mga AI na applications based on your current knowledge? Yes, Mr. Perez?
Example po ng AI is image classifications po.
That's correct. Image classifications. Any other answer? Sino nakapanood dito ng startup? Yung K-drama ba yun? So, if napanood mo, yun lang yung napanood kong K-drama kasi sobrang interesting kasi related on our field. Also, yun yung naging inspiration ko to take my master's degree. So, if maalala nyo on that on startup, na-mention dun sa mga dinidevelop nilang system, artificial intelligence. Like, yung dinevelop ni, yung pangalan ng lalaki, Namdusan, yung app for, sa lola ba yun? Sa lola ni,
Opo.
yun, ng babae. Di ba parang, ano yun, yung mata niya ay lumalabo na. Parang, ang ginawa niyang application ay, kasi parang umiinom ng gamot or nag-take ng medicine yung lola. Ginawang application ni Namdusan ay yung through mobile app, parang ini-scan or pinipicture yung mga gamot. Then, pag na-scan, since malabo na yung mata, hindi na alam ni Lola kung para saan ba yung gamot na to or ano ba yung gamot na to. Scan lang niya or parang, I'm not sure kung pinipicturean, then lalabas na doon or parang malalaman niya na doon through the app kung anong gamot to, kung para saan tong gamot na to, kung ilang beses ba inumin. and etc. So that is also, or that application applies artificial intelligence. So kasi it requires, or the application requires us or act, or somehow a part of the human intelligence with the use of the applications, kasi na-figure niya, with the application figures out ano ba yung gamot na to, ano ba yung pangalan ng gamot na to, para saan ba itong gamot na to. So AI has a different algorithms that apply new knowledge. AI device or machines are capable in doing a human task. Like yung ginagawa natin, yung device kaya ding gawin, or that device or that program act as a human. Yun yung artificial intelligence. Ano ba yung example? Ano pa ba yung example ng AI? Merong dalawang category si AI. Narrow AI at saka artificial general intelligence. Yung narrow AI, or tinatawag siya as weak artificial intelligence. Excuse me. Kumbaga, a narrow AI, a device or computer program that somehow act as a human. Somehow or partly act as a human. While the artificial general intelligence, or the AGI or the AGI, it also refers as the strong artificial intelligence. So with the AGI, parang literal na same intelligence ng human ang mangyayari with that program, with that device, or with that machines. So as of now, parang wala pa naman nito na literal na kaparehas ng tao yung application or yung machine. So parang sa movie pa lang natin to nakikita or napapanood, yung mga AGI or the artificial general intelligence. Kasi yun talaga, yung AGI talagang same as a person. So wala pa nun kasi, oo, kayang mag-develop or mag-accomplish ng program, ng machine, ng robots with the same intelligence of the people, of the person, of the tao. But yung emotions, parang I think hindi kaya or hindi kaya ma-accomplish yung emotions katulad ng sa tao. Kasi mahirap, kayang gawin, kapares natin mag-isip, but parang yung emotion nga ng tao parang hindi kayang or malabong magawa ng device or ng machines. Kasi yung alam naman natin na we are uniquely created by the God. So makagawa man ng device na katulad mag-isip ng tao, kaya mag-perform, but not the emotions. Ano pang example ng AI? Siri, Alexa, Cortana, self-driving cars, and robots. So that is the artificial intelligence. Clear ba? So, walang question. Next, IoT or Internet of Things. The Internet of Things combine information from connected devices and allows for analytics of systems. These platforms, devices, datasets provide additional insights and efficiencies for the enterprise. So, ano example ni IoT? Anyone?
Sir, yung RFID natin sa school.
RFID. Ano pa kaya? IoT, any device with, ano ba? Tawag doon, smartwatch, smartphone, smart TV, smart door. Yon yung internet of teams. Another emerging technologies of 2020, biometrics, yung sa finger, augmented reality, virtual reality. So meron na nito. Ito yung ano diga, yung sinusuot na something sa eyes, then merong mga animations na parang totoo. Blockchains or like for the cryptocurrency. So what is the advantage of having or what is the advantage of emerging technology? Efficiency. It saves time and effort, and the result will be still the best result. I mean, with the use of emerging technology, mapapadali yung trabaho natin, but not necessary or not totally aalisin yung trabaho natin or yung nagtatrabaho. Kumbaga, pinapadali lang emerging technology yung ating trabaho. Pero isa sa mga concerns or fears ng pagdating sa technology, most especially sa BPO industries or companies. Yung fear ng BPO is baka daw in the future or kung ilang years man, with the use of emerging technology, baka daw robots na yung gumagawa ng work or nagtitake ng calls. Kumbaga, dito na lalabas yung si artificial general intelligence. Yung same or exact human intelligence ang mapoprovide with the machines. So ngayon, as of now, wala pa naman ito, pinapadali lang ng emerging technology yung trabaho ng tao. Hindi pa inaalis. But in the future, kung ilang years man, kung may makapag-accomplish or makapag-develop ng artificial general intelligence, yun yung fear ng technology or information technology industries. Na baka robots na lang daw yung magtrabaho. Safety, for example, merong mga scenarios na kasi nire-record nila lahat ng scenarios or ng nangyayari. Example, on a one device, may nangyaring something. So ngayon, sabi ko nga kanina, emerging technology, continuing development of the existing technology, update nila yon para maging safe itong itong device. Wait lang. Ano ba ako? So yun, kunwari, may nangyari on a particular device. So, i-update nila yun para maging safe that particular specific device or yung machine. Then, yun yung advantage ng emerging technologies as it continues the development or the innovations of existing technologies. For health, example, mga technology na ginagamit in the medical field, like measuring heart rate or heartbeat, blood pressure. So, malaking tulong si emerging technology sa ating health or on the medical field. Environmental conservation. So, yung mga previous technology, merong ilang nakakasira ng kalikasan. So ngayon, ginagawa ng emerging technology, binabago yung previous technology into a new technology that can conserve our environment. Question. Clarification. No, none po. Yung iba po, baka merong question. Wala po. So, tomorrow, asynchronous class, hindi pala ito assignment, activity 1. So, illustrate the application development life cycle for mobile app. So, almost same lang naman siya with the SDLC, parang yung terms or yung stage or yung phases, parang iba lang yung naging term or wordings. Pero almost same lang siya with the SDLC. So, illustrate or yung picture ba ng application development life cycle for mobile web development or for the mobile development, and explain each phases or each phase. Gets? For our activity 1,
Yes po, sir.
check ko lang, merong sinunod na bagong syllabus. So don't stop when you're tired, stop when you are done. Kasi you don't, you will, kumbaga mag-runs ka with a lot of activities, but still, kagawin mo pa din naman. So stop when you are done. Check ko lang kung ano yung nabago. Yan. Kita nyo itong syllabus. So, di ba na iba yung ating intended learning outcome. So, at the end of this course, so that this is the expected learning outcomes for the students. First, ILO, explain ko na din ha, para bukas ay asynchronous class na lang tayo. So, develop a specification for a software development effort that precisely articulate the functional requirements, expected execution paths, and explicit use of cutting-edge or emerging technologies, which includes hardware devices and software library APIs. Select and use defined Select and use a defined coding, documentation, writing, and licensing standards, and sufficiently complex software project where coding idioms and mechanisms for implementing designs to achieve desired properties such as reliability, efficiencies, and robustness, and participated with respected to legal and ethical considerations. Undertake as a part of team activity an inspection of the source code and unit testing of the functional units of a sufficiently complex software project. Lalim ng ibang terms. So, parang kumbagay, you're expected on this course, expect na merong coding, pagdi-design ng applications. Focus tayo sa mobile applications. Again, if meron kayong free time, search nyo sa YouTube or Google yung Ionic or tutorial for the use of Ionic. Same lang. Wait. So, ito na yung grading system, 60-40. For the laboratory or activities, 40%, final project, 20%, for the major exams, 30%, and for the class participation or the recitation, 10%. Ano pa bang nadagdag? So, yun lang. So, ito yung topic natin. Upload ko na lang din sa Google Classroom. So, we have an ebook. Siguro, send na lang din namin sa student or sa Google Classroom i-post yung ebook. Roughly parang 200 plus pages yun. So lahat naman ng ito, starting from this or from our first topic, makikita siya on that ebook. Wala nang questions, concerns?